going to have a conversation with Njideka Harry. She is the CEO for Youth for Technology Foundation, which is an NGO that uses the power of technology to transform the lives of women and youth in developing countries. She's been recognized in 2013 as the Social Entrepreneur of the Year by the Schwab Foundation and also the World Economic Forum. Today we're going to have several interesting conversations with her. First of all, we're going to find out about her incredible journey and how she quit a very lucrative and promising new job in Microsoft to set up her own NGO. We're going to find out about some of the challenges that she faced in doing so. And we're also going to go back and hear from her on some of the exciting technologies that can transform the African continent. So thank you once again and welcome to the conversation. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you, Alaka.
So you have a very, very inspiring profile, and I love the work you're doing with Youth for Technology. And so I wanted to understand, really what exactly is Youth for Technology? What do you do, just for the audience? What is it that you do, and what is the impact that you've been able to achieve so far?
Sure, great question. Thanks for the invitation. It's great to be here at the inaugural Africa Summit here at the London School of Economics, and such a delight to talk to you today. So Youth for Technology Foundation is an international non-profit organization, and I founded the organization 14 years ago. Started off in my career first at General Electric and then at Microsoft, and in each of those roles I had an opportunity to really look at technology inside the company and how it drove business decisions. At Microsoft, I felt a very compelling reason to actually pay it forward. I grew up in Nigeria myself, to a Nigerian father and an American mother, and lived most of my life in Nigeria before coming to the US for education. And my mind continued to be on Africa, and my mind continued specifically to be on Nigeria, and looking at the technology divide between the children and young people growing up in Nigeria and the children growing up in the developed countries. And so I founded Youth for Technology Foundation to try to bridge that divide. Now our mission really is simple, but it's powerful. Our mission is to create enriched learning communities where the appropriate use of technology affords opportunities for young people and women. Fundamentally believe that young people are co-creators of very powerful ICT solutions.
Absolutely.
We believe in their mothers, women in the communities that we serve. They reinvest as much as 90% of their income back into these communities. Oftentimes they are the economic pillars, they are the glue themselves. And in the first couple of years of developing and implementing programs on the ground, our young people told us our mothers could also use this information. And so we began to work with women in these communities as well. Our goal is really to transition people from the education field into the world of work or into the world of entrepreneurship by providing them with the right technology skills to be able to do this.
That's brilliant. So what kind of, can you give some examples of the types of skills that you get, the training that you give, and just an example of some of the programs that you have existing?
Absolutely. So we very much believe in the power of appropriate technology for development. And when you think of appropriate technology, there are three core areas. There's the internet, there's mobile technologies, and there's community radio. But we also believe in people, and people and the communities really forming the center of how we develop appropriate technology programs. There are four pillars we work around. We work around education, entrepreneurship, agriculture, and health. And then working with those communities, develop programs that help people living in the communities how to realize their potential in these areas. So for instance, we focus on entrepreneurship. Over the last 13 years, we have implemented entrepreneurship training for youth and women, specifically in the Niger Delta region of Nigeria. With the young people, we work with them to really change their mindset. 96% of the young people that walk through our doors have never really thought about entrepreneurship as a viable career. They go through school wanting to be maybe doctors, lawyers, or what have you, which are all very honorable professions, but their minds aren't focused on entrepreneurship because they don't believe that entrepreneurship is really a viable career. And so we focus a lot on teaching them about entrepreneurship and really how to monetize great ideas that they have using appropriate technology.
So wow, so youth for technology has grown massively since you started it 14 years ago. You have an annual budget of $4.8 million, which is a lot for a non-profit organization. And the question is, how have you been able to raise the funding, for your projects? And how have you been able to grow so much in such a short period of time?
So we've worked very, very hard, of course, and we've worked very diligently. But I think we owe a lot of our success really to our people and the human capital that we have working across regions where we work. So in addition to Nigeria, we also do some work in Kenya, Uganda, Cameroon, and most recently we expanded to Colombia. And we owe all the success of the organization really to our people. They are like family to us. We value our people, we bring them in, we leverage the knowledge that they already have, and then we ensure that there is professional development, ongoing professional development throughout their career at Youth for Technology. On average, our staff members have about 4 years each with the organization at the very minimum. So they're there to stay. They've bought into the vision and mission of the organization, and truly their passion is aligned with our vision. They want to do the work that helps achieve our mission, which is bridging the digital divide in these developing nations.
Wow. And how did you, you make it sound easy, but how are you able, because a lot of people, when I speak to them about how one of their biggest challenges, they talk about human resources. How are you able to get people who are that focused and who stay for 4 years? That's a long time. And also, how do you raise the money?
Right. So great questions, and I mean it's no easy task by any means, but we really go through a very rigorous hiring process. Initially, when the organization started, a lot of our hiring was actually via word of mouth, because we really were focused on hiring local people who understood the language, understood the culture, were really a part of the community that we were looking to serve. And so a lot of our hiring took place via word of mouth. However, like you said, the organization has grown, and we've had to, issue or develop and send out, job descriptions and hire from the outside. But still, there is a very rigorous process to become a part of the organization as an employee. Throughout the interview process, we are gauging and testing that you're not just looking for a job, but you're really looking for a lifestyle, and you've bought into the vision of the organization. And those are the types of people we hire, people that just have a relentless passion towards our cause. In terms of how we've raised the funding, it hasn't been easy at all. And in the first 10 years of doing this work, we were very, very focused on our clients and our beneficiaries. We still are, but we've taken a moment to look up and tell the world what we're doing.
Exactly.
The world can see our track record. Our clients speak on our behalf. The testimonies of the communities that we work with, they speak on our behalf, and that's really what keeps us going. Wow. But the first 10 years, building up the organization, knocking on doors to tell people our story. And, finally, after all this work and our clients being able to see how that learning is transforming their lives and their communities, they are looking up with us and sharing their story to the world. And this is the point we are in the organization.
Wow. So what were some of the biggest challenges that you faced, in this past 14 years?
Well, like I said earlier, I left a very lucrative career at Microsoft. I left not knowing where my next paycheck would be. I actually left Microsoft and went to Stanford University and completed a postgraduate program called the Reuters Digital Vision Fellowship Program. And it was a program founded by Reuters Foundation, really to take enterprising technologists, bring them to Stanford for a year and help them visualize what the ideas were for technology in the developing context. So I spent, 12 months on campus at Stanford, really thinking about Youth for Technology Foundation, how I wanted to grow the organization, what stakeholders needed to be involved, and at the end of the day, what we needed to achieve. But it was scary. I left with nothing. I left Microsoft. I wasn't, one of the stock option millionaires. I really, in essence, left with nothing, and really created Youth for Technology Foundation from nothing. I think what people will tell you about myself and my team is you can generally see that we have a passion for what we
Absolutely.
do. It's not an idea that we heard of or we thought of or somehow it just came in passing. It's indeed based on my experience, based on our experiences working together, and a passion that we truly believe in.
I'll just sort of end with one final question. There are a lot of people who are, sitting down, probably at Microsoft, probably at some other company, and are thinking of that business idea, that, NGO they want to start, that business they want to start, and are thinking, how should I make the move? Should I make the move? What is your advice, based on your experience? What's your one piece of advice to that person?
I would say just do it, provided the idea is one that you are completely passionate about. And so I consider myself to be an impatient optimist. And, once I developed the idea for Youth for Technology Foundation, there was just no going back.
Yeah.
I knew that this was an area of work that for me would be really a life-fulfilling journey. Working at Youth for Technology is not a career. Like I said earlier, for not just myself, but for our teams that work with us in the countries that we work, it's a journey and it's a life experience. And so just do it, but better make sure and be sure that this is an idea that you are truly passionate about and see it to the end.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Amaka. It's been great talking with you.